We mooned our preacher.
And I loved it.
Blue Moon gift shops on Racine, because why be ordinary when you can
Moon somebody!
Do the symptoms of a heart attack differ between men and women?
His father and his grandfather had heart attacks in their 60s.
I'm tired all the time. Could it be my heart?
What doctor has 2 free hours to talk about your risk for heart disease and stroke? NHRMC specialists do. Come to a free Live and Learn seminar. You may even qualify for a free screening. Call or register online at nhrmc.org. Learn about heart disease and stroke. Bring your questions and get answers.
Mrs. Muller? Yes. Ah, please, come in. Have a seat.
I thought I might have had the wrong day when you didn't answer the door.
Well, just between us, I was listening to this transistor radio with an earpiece. Look at how tiny they're making them these days. I confiscated it from one of my students, and I can't stop using it.
You like music?
Not really. News reports. Years ago, I used to listen to all the news reports when my husband was in war in Italy. When I came into possession of this little radio, I found myself doing it again, although there is no war, and the voices have changed.
You were a married woman?
Yes,
But
he was killed. Is your husband coming?
couldn't get off work.
I see, of course. That is a lot to ask.
How's Donald doing?
He's passing his subjects. He has average grades.
Oh, good. He was upset about getting taken off the altar boys.
Yes, did he explain why?
Said it was caught drinking wine.
That is the reason.
Well, that seems fair. But he's a good boy, sister. He fell down there, but he's a good boy pretty much down the line. And he knows what an opportunity he has here. I think the whole thing was just a bit much for him.
What do you mean, the whole thing?
He's the only colored here. He's the first in this school. That'd be a lot for a boy.
Oh, I suppose it would be, but he has to do the work, of course.
He is doing it though, right?
Yes, he's getting by, he's getting through. How is he now?
His father beat the hell out of him over that wine.
Oh, we shouldn't do that.
You don't tell my husband what to do. You just stand back. He didn't want Donald to come here.
Why not?
Thought he'd have a lot of trouble with the other boys. But that hasn't happened as far as I can make out.
Good.
That priest, Father Flynn, been watching out for him.
Have you met Father Flynn?
Not exactly, no. I've seen him on the altar, but I haven't met him face to face. Just, heard from Donald.
What does he say?
Oh, Father Flynn, Father Flynn. He looks up to him. The man gives him his time, which is what the boy needs. He needs that.
Mrs. Muller, we may have a problem.
Well, I thought you must have had a reason for asking me to come in. Principal's a big job. If you stop your day to talk to me, it must be something. I just want to say, though, it's just till June.
Excuse me?
Whatever the problem is, Donald just has to make it here till June, and then he's off into high school.
Right.
If Donald can graduate from here, he'll have a better chance of getting into a good high school, and that would mean an opportunity at college. I believe he has the intelligence, and he wants it too.
Well, I don't see anything standing in the way at this time of his graduating with his class.
But that's all I care about. Anything else is all right with me.
I doubt that.
Try me.
I'm concerned about the relationship between Father Flynn and your son.
You don't say. Concerned. What do you mean concerned?
That it may not be right.
Huh, well, there's something wrong with everybody, isn't it so? Got to be forgiven.
I'm concerned, to be frank, that Father Flynn may have had relations with your son.
May have been. No evidence?
No,
Then maybe there's nothing to it.
I think there is something to it.
Well, I would prefer not to see it that way if you don't mind.
I can understand that this is hard to hear. I think Father Flynn gave Don that altar line.
Why would you do that?
Has Don been behaving strangely?
No.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
He's been himself.
All right.
Look, sister, I don't want any trouble. And I feel like you're on the march somehow.
I don't think you completely understand.
I think I understand the kind of thing you're talking about, but I don't want to get into it.
What's that?
Not to be disagreeing with you, but if we're talking about something floating around between this priest and my son, that ain't my son's fault.
I'm not suggesting that it is.
He's just a boy,
I know.
12 years old. If somebody should be taking blame for anything, it should be the man, not the boy.
I agree with you completely.
You agree with me, but I'm sitting in the principal's office talking about my son. Why isn't the priest in the principal's office? If you know what I'm saying, then you'll excuse my bringing it up.
You're here because I'm concerned about Donald's welfare.
You think I'm not?
Well, of course you are.
Let me ask you something. You honestly think that priest gave Donald that wine to drink?
Yes,
But
I
how,
do.
how come my son got kicked off the altar boy as if it was the man that gave it to him?
The boy got caught, the man didn't.
How come the priest didn't get kicked off the priesthood?
He's a grown man, educated, and he knows what's at stake.
So,
It's not so easy to pin someone like that down.
so you give my son the whole blame. No problem my son getting blamed and punished. That's easy. You know why that is?
I think you should let me talk. Perhaps you're getting upset.
That's because that's the way it is. You're just finding out about it. But that's the way it is, and that's the way it's been, sister. You're not going against no man in a row and win, sister. He's got the position.
And he's got your son.
Let him have him then.
What?
It's just till June.
Do you know what you're saying?
No more about it than you.
I believe this man is creating or has already brought about an improper relationship with your son.
I don't know.
I know I'm right.
Why do you need to know something like that for sure when you don't? Look, sister, you got some kind of righteous cause going with this priest, and now you want to drag my boy into it. My son doesn't need additional difficulties. Let him take the good and leave the rest when he leaves this place in June. He knows how to do that. I taught him how to do that.
What kind of mother are you?
Excuse me, but I don't think you know enough about life to say a thing like that, sister.
I know enough.
You know the rules, maybe, but that don't cover it.
I know what I would accept.
You accept what you gotta accept, and you work with it. That's the truth I know. Sorry to be so sharp, but you're here in this room.
And this man is in my school.
Well, he's gotta be somewhere, and maybe he's doing some good too. You ever think of that?
He's after the boys.
Well, maybe some of them boys want to get caught. Maybe what you don't know is my son is that way. That's why his father beat him up, not the wine. He beat Donald for being what he is.
What are you telling me?
I'm his mother. I'm talking about his nature, not anything he's done. But you can't hold a child responsible for what God gave him to be.
Listen to me with care, Mrs. Muller. I'm only interested in actions. It's hopeless to discuss a child's possible inclinations. I'm already finding it hard enough to address a man's deeds. This isn't about what the boy may be. It's about what the man is. This is about the man.
But there's the boy's nature.
Well, let's leave that out of it.
Forget it then. You're the one forcing people to say these things out loud. Things are in the air, you leave them alone if you can. That's what I know. My boy came to this school because they were going to kill him at the public school. So we were lucky enough to get him in here for his last year. Good. His father Kids don't like him. One man is good to him. This priest puts out a hand to the boy. Does the man have his reasons? Yes. Everybody has their reasons. You have your reasons. But do I ask the man why he's good to my son? No. I don't care why. My son needs a man to care about him and see him through to where he wants to go. And thank God this educated man with some kindness in him wants to do just that.
This will not do.
It's just till June. Sometimes things aren't black and white.
And sometimes they are. I will throw your son out of this school, Mrs. Muller. Make no mistake.
Why would you do that if nothing started with him?
Because I will do whatever I must to stop this.
You hurt my son to get your way?
They won't stop with your son. There'll be others if there aren't already.
Throw the priest out then.
That's just what I'm trying to do.
Well, what do you want from me?
Nothing, as it turns out. I was hoping that you would know something that would help me, but it seems that you don't.
Please leave my son out of this. My husband would kill that child over a thing like this.
I'll try.
I don't know, sister. You may think you're doing good, but the world's a hard place. I don't know that you and me on the same side. I'll be standing with my son and those who are good with my son. It would be nice